Hey everybody, welcome back. We are pumped. Adam, how you doing today, man?
It is the day after the United States of America's election. We're finally moving forward to another chapter. I'm sure some people are happy, some people are sad, but here's the thing. Every passing moment is another opportunity to make the most out of everything. And I butchered the Vanilla Sky quote there, but the idea is what are we doing? Like, what are we actually doing? And are we informed? And do we know what we're about to take on in our lives? In our businesses. And that's why we have these Q&A sessions, because our amazing community at Project 2740 has incredible questions, and they want to have the ability to start making the changes in their life. And we have our two guests.
My name is Curt, former chef turned life and career strategist. You can find me on LinkedIn.
My name is Will Hedgepeth. I am a financial advisor with Craft Wealth Services. The best way is probably to find me on LinkedIn.
Let's start with Mr. Sasek.
Last week you did a post about value and how Ferrari doesn't compare itself to Toyota. So can you expound on how people do better at, showing their value and their worth?
What we were trying to get across there is that nobody walks into a Lamborghini dealership and says, yeah, I mean, this is a nice car and all, but I could get a better deal with a Toyota. It's a much lower price. So when someone has a very high value, okay, the people that are looking to purchase that aren't coming in shopping for price. What they're doing is shopping for the value, and that value is usually already known. There's like, okay, I know how much this is worth. So when the price is presented to me, they're not shocked. Too many people are worried about, oh my gosh, they keep saying my price is too high or this. Well, you're talking to the wrong people because you haven't yet given them the perception of what your value is. And sometimes people are trying to sell before they've actually presented what their value is.
So let's say you're new. You don't have that history. What do you recommend to people who are newer in their business?
When we first started coaching, we wanted to have a proof of concept. So in order to have a proof of concept, we had to take a client on that we did not feel like we needed to charge to get that proof of concept because we had never done it before. But then once we did it and it was successful, we understood our value.
What if it's a product-based service? Think about how many times you've gone to let's say a BJ's or a Costco. When you walk around, what are those people doing as you walk around? There's people at the end caps. So they're giving out these free samples and like, hey, here, try that. What you're doing in the sample thing is you're allowing someone to be like, wow, that's great. I'm going to buy it again. Well, let's move on to your question. What do you got for us, pal?
A couple of the things that I'm struggling with are looking at strict habits versus kind of finding that harmony and balance.
These habits that you're talking about, how would you categorize them?
They are personal.
So they're personal habits. So they're self-care habits.
Mm-hmm.
You're disciplined to have these self-care habits, but why do you have these self-care habits? What's the benefit of them? What's the purpose?
Because I know that it makes me better at my job and better for my family.
Because it makes you better at your job and better for your family, isn't it an essential part of your life harmony to continue to do those things, right? They don't need to be separated. Everything just needs to be given its space and its time for those things.
I try to make it part of what I do every single day, but then life happens.
That's where the conflict is coming in, right? Life happens and you may not get to all of your self-care routine for that day, because life happened, because there was a part of your life that there was a little disjointedness in the harmony that was created. When we talk about harmony and creating a life work harmony as opposed to a balance, is we're not trying to give everything equal time every single day because life does happen. What we're trying to do is make sure that you are allowing for all of the key ingredients that you need for your day to make up a life of harmony, to give you the space that you need to do all the things that you need to do. And you have to have flexibility.
So number one priority in my life is my wife and kids. Number two is my clients. Number three is Adam. And number four is my business. So what that means, Will, is if there's something that I am going to do for my business and my kids and my wife need it, they come before it, that gets put on the side. Sorry, business, can't deal with that. Now, what happens is I know my operating system. And based upon that, that's how I make decisions without guilt. So Shell says, how many chances do you give a potential client if they no-show on a discovery call?
I only give them one other chance. I'll reach out to them. Maybe they forgot. Maybe life happened. Something came up. And then I'll try to reschedule them. And if they can't reschedule after that, I don't continue any further.
So it depends how valuable it is. And you have to, when we're prospecting, in Project 2740, we teach about prospecting the right way and making sure that you're not just finding your target market, but you're finding the prospect and you're finding the reason you want to go with that prospect. And you should have a perceived value upon that person before you invite them into a discovery call. Your follow-up to this is, should a discovery call always be free? Are there times when it's appropriate to charge a nominal fee that gives someone a taste of what they'd get once they work with you? Why are you charging them a tiny little bit, a tiny little piece, if you already know what they're worth and what you're worth? So what I'm getting at here is you have to really not just be setting up random meetings, be setting up with worthwhile meetings. And then you will determine how much time, effort, and energy it is worth following up, even if they didn't show up.
I always say, give it away for free. Have that discovery call for free. Yes, it occupies time in your calendar, but it is valuable time if you make the sale. And if you don't make the sale, you find ways to follow up and make a sale.
We're going to ask each of you guys, what is your favorite thing or the best part of Project 2740 and what you're getting out of it?
I think the big value to me is that it is a complete program. So it is looking at the whole, business owner. It's looking at the whole person. So, there are times where we're going to, we can have a conversation and we can talk about something very specific to business and then turn around and talk about something specific to our personal lives.
Everybody in the group is like-minded. We all want the same thing, which is to grow and to learn. And so it's everybody is of one mind, so to speak. So in terms of the group, I like that very much. And as far as you guys, I'd say other than the obvious fact that you guys make it clear you're here for our support, just helping us get out of our own way is probably the biggest thing.
It's a good observation about the community because we find that many times the community itself helps others get out of their own way. And it may be through some things that they were sharing or being vulnerable enough to say, or, maybe some advice that Tom shared with them that then helps someone else do that. And then we see a lot of times this conversation between two people. If you are a part of Project 2740, you get some additional time with Q&A with Tom and I. And of course, we have our daily sessions that we're doing. So if you're interested in finding out more about it, go to atomicbusinesscoaching.com and click the Project 2740 tab, or hit me up on LinkedIn. You can find me at Adam Thomas. And there's plenty of ways to view all the stuff about our program, set up appointments with me and all that good stuff. So thanks so much. We will see you next week.
See you next time.